From the studios of TLC Talk Radio
and Dana's bedroom.
It's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
We have an incredible show lined up for you today. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And catch our episodes on tlctalkradio.com. 24/7 edutainment, but at your convenience, because you can just pull it on demand. How's it going? I miss you.
It's going well. I miss you too.
Yeah, COVID is just boo.
Yeah, it's
it's a drag. It is. Drag. Yeah, it's a drag. But we do what we can. We make adjustments. That's the human experience. We make adjustments when things happen, things that we don't like a global pandemic. You know,
quite enjoying it.
You know what? So today I went back to work and my students are not back. So it was just, the staff, and it was really good to see everybody. We had done a staff outing, a safe, socially distant staff outing. I mean, we had a ball. It was good to see each other. At the same time, it's like,
yeah.
So, you're nervous. You're absolutely nervous. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. How have you been?
I've been good. We actually started school last week.
Okay.
But it was like half days. They did like this 4-day orientation. It was kind of insane. So half of the day, the juniors and half of the day, freshmen and sophomores would come in. And then the rest of the day, juniors and seniors would come in. And this week is just juniors and seniors. And next week is just freshmen and sophomore. And then they get together whenever the next week is. So it's been nuts. Nobody likes to wear a mask properly. So that's irritating. And then we started the way our lunchroom is set up now is we have stations. So I run the wings and things. So I'm all about chicken all day. And then there's Taste of Italy. There's South of the Border, that greens is like salads and paninis and stuff like that. I'm missing something. Hot Off the Grill is like hamburgers, hot dogs, brats, all that kind of stuff. Chicken sandwiches, because I'm not doing sandwiches, just chicken things.
Got it.
And snack bar and something we haven't started yet because we don't have enough people. Yeah. So we're hiring.
I was about to say, are you all short-staffed? Yeah. I'm hearing that people are, for whatever reason, either leaving the profession or have gotten a different position. Yeah, it can become challenging, particularly when you have a lot of protocols in place that you have to enact that require a lot of monitoring. When you're dealing with, adolescents and kids and who may or may not listen to you when you give a directive.
No, they don't. For some reason, everyone thinks that they just can take a juice from anywhere and just walk around with it. And I'm like, it's kind of not how that goes. Not how that goes. You got to buy a meal. You get a juice.
That's a
pocket full of juice.
That's hilarious.
Then you move along.
Expeditiously. So
yes.
Movement. So you had a birthday. And
I did.
You did something super exciting that I don't know that I would do.
Really?
Tell everybody. I don't know that I would. Listen, one of the things I admire about you is that you just go. You do exactly what you want to do.
Yeah. It's kind of easy, being single.
Okay.
I don't have to, confirm it with anyone else. I'm just like, oh, I'm doing this.
So tell everybody what you did. It was great.
What I did was travel the entire East Coast, except for North and South Dakota, because I already hit them.
Okay.
But I started in Illinois, went to Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia in 9 days.
So Dana celebrated the 25th anniversary of her 25th birthday.
Exactly.
And really, Just
Yeah.
wow. So 9 days driving.
Mhm.
Tell me about it. Like, I know you didn't just like, okay, I'm here. All right, next state. Like, obviously you did things.
Kind of, but the way that I like to do my vacations, so I'm kind of developing a pilot for a show I want to do, which is called Drive By Vacation. Yeah. So I started thinking about that while I was on this vacation, that I drove the entire thing all by myself. And I picked out some things that I wanted to see that were off the beaten path, kind of. Well, except for the first one was Ben and Jerry's factory in Vermont, because Ben and Jerry's, hello. And they have vegan ice cream, so had to have that.
And they
Which
believe
was
Black
cool.
Lives Matter.
Yes, they're very pro everything good. I really like them. And they had this flavor graveyard up on a hill. It was so funny.
That's fun.
Some flavors that would come back, so it would like be from here to here, and then like 2 years later it came back and then left again, and they're like, we tried, it just never happened. Nobody liked it. Oh well.
It is, right.
So that was my first stop, and then my second one was Stephen King's house, because I love Stephen King. So like
I'm
I
a chicken. So Stephen King might be a nice guy. I am a chicken.
Well, it's not like I stopped in his house.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little weird because I almost felt very stalkerish. Like, because this lady got out of her car and was walking up and down taking pictures. I stayed in my car and took pictures and felt bad. That I was like, but it's Stephen King, because I want to, but like, that's kind of an invasion of your privacy, because it's your house and you can't go out front and do anything because there's people all over the place taking pictures of you. So I was like, but it's Stephen King. And he's one of the people, like, you know, dead or alive, who would you like to have dinner with one night? He's one of my people.
How do you find Stephen King's address? I mean, I know the internet age is what
it's on Google. Like, it's on Google. Google Maps. I was like, Stephen King's house.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like, see, that's why I'm.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Trust. You won't get me. That right there.
Well, I'm sure somebody actually put it on there at some point. Like, but it's his house. It's really his house, and it's a house he's had like forever. He never got like some other huge mansion or anything. It's in the middle of a block. He's got actual neighbors.
Okay.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is neat.
That he's, you know, yeah. So, but I did have mixed feelings about it, because I was like, stalker.
Very crazy.
Yeah. So that was in Maine, if you don't know where the king lives. Not the Elvis King, the other king. Then I went to New Hampshire. And I'd actually gone through New Hampshire a little bit on the way to Maine, but where I wanted to go in New Hampshire, because I had plotted this out before I left. So I knew where I wanted to go in New Hampshire was on the other side of New Hampshire. So when I was coming back down to hit all the other states, it was there, and it's called the American Stonehenge, which is kind of like a woo kind of area. It's really cool. So this is actually my second henge in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a car henge in Nebraska.
Okay.
And then the American Stonehenge in New Hampshire.
Nice.
So
how many days between Illinois to these particular spots? What day are we on?
So American Stonehenge was on the 17th, which was the third day, because I left on the 15th, which was actually the day my mom went into labor with me.
Oh, how sweet.
And then I was born on the 17th.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a pain. They finally decided to cut me out.
Yeah. Like, I'm coming. Here I am.
I'm like, anyone?
Like, help. You leave stuck in here.
I would like to come out now.
Right.
But apparently not. All right, so day 3 was American Stonehenge. Day 4 was the Springfield Armory in Massachusetts. So the Springfield Armory is it's really interesting. It is where they made guns for like from the Civil War on, or is it the Revolutionary War on? One or the other. Maybe it's the Revolutionary War.
We'll check it out.
Yeah. I'll put a little thing somewhere.
I was thinking that. Great mind.
Tina means this one.
You're crazy.
So it was really, right. But it had like really, really old like guns and bayonets and all types of cool stuff. And then like the most modern thing they made was like this crazy gun that was military, huge. Yeah.
You're gonna do that to you when you walk in. Look at it like
big, loud, blah. You know what I mean?
I do.
But
that.
you know, I like guns. Guns are cool. But the funny thing is that on the door it says no guns allowed. So you can't bring in your own gun.
I mean, I get it.
I get it too. I just thought it was funny.
It's hilarious, actually. Hilariously ironic.
Yes. So from there, I went to Rhode Island to see.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
What?
Peter Griffin. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
We're
I'm
related.
I'm a Family Guy fan.
I am, you know, a Griffin.
You are. So I was just wondering if you went to see them.
I was not. No, I didn't visit that Griffin this trip. I did visit a Griffin though. Moving on. Okay, so I went to the Gun Totem, which is a art piece that is made out of cement and guns that were confiscated. And it was really interesting. And it was really short. I thought it was going to be much taller. When I got there, I was like, not that tall. Like all the pictures everybody did, I guess, from this angle, which it's all fine. I mean, it was still cool, but it was like little. But all like the way that it was done, there was like gun pieces hanging out like handles, and it was really cool. You'll have to check out my Instagram. That Fat Girl Media. All right, so what day was that? I don't even remember. It kind of all just blended into each other after a while. Then I went to Old Newgate Prison in Connecticut, because that's what you do in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. This was from the Revolutionary War. It was also a copper mine. What was really weird about it to me was that the fact that the prisoners were kept in the mine in the dark, and it was a horrible place. It was just
sounds like it.
Horrible. Like George Washington sent like prisoners of war to there. It was that bad. Yeah. It was, yeah. The history, the guy who gave the tour was amazing. And I have a little bit of anxiety when I go into tunnels and, you know, like mines and stuff like that. Because I do have a little bit of claustrophobia. And they were like, well, there's this one part that's only 4 feet tall and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I can make it. I'll be fine. As long as nothing's like touching and moving towards me, I'm usually okay.
Sure.
But it wasn't that bad. And I had kept that under control. So that was another thing that I was pushing past. That's another thing I kind of want to do, is just like break your phobias, basically. And that was kind of one of mine. So I went through it and it was really cool, but really depressing. You know, because people were not enslaved there, imprisoned there, and it was just
Yeah.
like in a like I don't know, like 90 people in this like little space that was probably as big as my bedroom, which isn't that big.
Sure.
But they would sleep in bunk beds that were like floor to ceiling. So, like compartments that they used for the Holocaust kind of a situation.
Wow.
So it was depressing, but cool. I really like history.
Yeah.
Even though it's white people did some bad stuff. Lots of bad stuff. Like lots of bad stuff. Yeah. And they don't want to teach it anymore, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. All right. From there, I went to Quick Stop in New Jersey, which is from Clerks, a movie by Kevin Smith.
Okay.
Now that day, while I was driving there, he announced that he was filming Clerks 3 on his birthday, his 51st birthday, August 2nd. So on that day, he was actually there, but I didn't see him, but I heard his voice. And it was really cool. I wanted to see that because I love those movies. I love Kevin Smith. I don't know, he makes me happy. Then I went to Delaware and I was looking for this shipwreck that I never found because the coordinates I had were just for somebody's property. And I was like, I'm not gonna walk on that to find this. Probably a bad idea. So I ended up just standing in the Atlantic Ocean for a little bit. And that was cool.
Dopeness.
Yeah, I've stood in it before, but it was in Florida. I've never been that far up north, northeast, I guess.
Yeah.
In the Atlantic. So it was cool. But there was a lot of people there. Okay. A lot of people, no masks. Anywhere I went. Like everywhere I went. I'm like, really, people? Really?
COVID is real.
Yeah, and everyone's vaccinated.
Lies.
Lies. All right, so my next location was, let's see. Oh no, I skipped my aunt. I went to visit my aunt she's in Philly.
Nice.
Yes, so I went to visit her, who is a Griffin.
In my mind, I'm singing the Fresh Prince, but I'm gonna just keep going. Go ahead.
So I spent the night there before going to Delaware, and then I went to Maryland to see the B&O Railroad Museum, which was my dad's one of the companies he used to work for. He used to fix trains.
That's really cool.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. And I stood in front of one of the trains that he would have worked on, not necessarily the trains, but you know what I mean, like the type of train. Yeah. And I took a picture out of it because, cool. It was really emotional for me. Because like I could see him talking about the trains if he had been there, like this is really nice. This is really cool because it does blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I took pictures of the engines and I
said his knowledge.
What was that?
His knowledge would have been so great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I believe he started working there when he was like 16 or something like that. Wow. He worked for trains for a very, very long time. Yeah, until he passed. He worked for not B&O, but he ended up with Union Pacific because they had closed the yard down in St. Louis, and then he got a job with the other place. So it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. And then my last stop for the new states, because I was adding on to my 50 by 50, which I'm not getting all 50. I only have 34. Thanks, COVID. Thanks, Obama. No, I'm just kidding. Was the New River Gorge Bridge, which is this huge nature preserve that they have tons of things that you can do there. But the bridge itself goes over this gorge, which is like really, really far down, like really far. And you drive over it. When I left, I drove over it because it's part of the expressway.
Okay.
But it's like got all types of stuff. Like I can't think of anything. Like nature walks, trails, and
Okay.
just a whole bunch of different activities you can do. But I got there about sunset, so I had to walk down like a million stairs to get halfway down to the gorge. Yeah, it's really crazy. Walking back up was harder. And the next day, my thighs hurt so bad. I was like, oh, okay.
My thighs just got mad listening. Just so we're
yeah, they were in pain. But it was really beautiful, and I watched the sunset through the bridge. It was really cool. Yeah. So that was in West Virginia, which I had never been in before. And then I made my way down to Georgia to hang out with my friends that I normally stay at in Georgia. And then I came home because I missed my granddaughter.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty and getting so big. What did you learn about you on this trip?
I learned a lot about me. Like I can be alone and it's all good. Like it's all good.
I love it.
Yeah. And that I really, really want to do a travel show. Like that is
excellent.
I know. So if anyone wants to donate some kind of vehicle I could drive across the US next summer, that is my plan. So
love it.
Yeah. I want to do that. I'll talk to more details so nobody steals it later.
Well, we're absolutely submitting this for copyright. No
yes.
Anybody steal your idea. This is Dana's idea.
Yes. It's vacation drive-by.
Yeah. See?
Absolutely. Yeah. Vacation drive-by. Dana.
I love it. I love it. That's what I mean. Living, doing what you do. No, I don't, I don't know. I would be afraid to do that by myself. I'd be like, okay, so who's riding with me?
A lot of people have told me that. They're like, oh, you're so brave. And I'm like, I'm in a car by myself. It's not brave. Like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because I watch Unsolved Mysteries all the time.
Yeah, but I read Stephen King. So
but how likely are those things to happen to you?
Kind of likely. Spiritual weird things, yeah. Spiritual weird things happen all the time.
Touche.
Doesn't matter where you're at, usually follows you.
Yeah, but no, I think that's so cool. This so dope when you told me you were gonna do it, and it's funny because one of our friends, former colleague, posted like, "You all are traveling by yourself. Our ladies doing that," and I was like, Dana's doing it right now.
I'm doing it now. I've hit 13 states already.
So what happened when you got tired? Did you just stop at a hotel, or how did that go?
When I was like after I would hit something, and if it was like only 2 or 3 hours to the next place, I would just go there. But if it was like going to be 5 hours, I'm like, yeah, I'll just pull over and find somewhere to, I'd look up a hotel that was close to basically halfway to where I was going. Or if it was too late to go to the next place, like where it was, I'd get there like, the night before. I think I did that with, what did I do that with? The Springfield Armory I did that with.
Okay.
Where it wasn't going to be open by the time I got there. So I was like, oh, hotel time to hang in the pool. Yeah. Yeah. Which I did, which was weird because no one was in the pools, which was cool because no COVID.
I was about to say COVID. People were afraid.
Right. I was like, nobody's down here sweating.
I love it. I think it's great. I think the lesson is to live out loud and do exactly what you want to do. I love it. Absolutely love it. No,
Yeah.
no concern what other people think. Not that you're that kind of person anyway. Like,
Not anymore. Like when I was in high school, yes. Now
makes sense. Yeah.
I
high
don't
school
care. I care not what anyone thinks.
So we were talking pre-show about that very thing, and then it kind of wraps all of these things together: living out loud, making sure you're safe, and just being authentically you. And I was sharing with you that I said I don't have anything to share. Like, today's the Dana show. And then I did note that I lost a friend, and it was sudden, it was unexpected, and it was due to COVID. That's what I was told. I'll say that. I have not confirmed that with his family because they don't know me. But that is the consensus that I've seen floating around social media. And so whatever the issue is, I know that at 27 years old, this man lived. And so I want to take a moment to kind of dedicate my part of DT on our minds to Miles, because he's on my mind. And so fittingly, his last name is Love. And what happened was I went to Emmanuel Christian School, and at some point, I don't remember what year, we decided to form an alumni association. And in walks this young man who was significantly younger than us. And I saw a couple people with the pushback when he had some ideas. But in my mind, I'm like, no, this is a young brain and we need to be listening. And so he was just so sincere in his desires to help, whatever. Anyway, fast forward, we become friends, and he's super sweet. Ended up writing a book, telling me about it. Tasha, I need to be on your show. So my very first podcast, well, we were live at the time, was a Viber mix with Tasha, Tamiko, and Fred. And he had written this book. He came to be on the show. And again, I never paid attention. I knew he was younger than me, but I didn't pay attention to how much younger. And so I'm like, absolutely. So he came on, excellent job. I've got to find that audio. I don't know if I'm ready to listen to it, but I've got to find it.
Yeah.
It's somewhere. And just a great, time. And what I didn't realize is that he had become a mentor of sorts to Tamiko's sons. I didn't know that until he passed and she started sharing pictures. And I was like, wait, what? Oh my God, but this is who he was. He traveled, he owned Airbnbs, he said whatever was on his mind. You hear me? His Facebook feed, like, I don't even know if his page is public, but if you have an opportunity, go read some of the things he said. He was hilarious. And so we would always have these sidebar conversations after he posts something, and I'd be like, okay, I can't say this, but I'm gonna tell you, X, and we would go from there and laugh, have a good time. He came to one of my birthday parties. Again, never paid attention to how old he was because it didn't matter. We just an authentic guy. And then I realized he was in real estate, and he was so helpful to me as a new realtor, and he would answer all of my questions. Again, I'm more than 15 years older than him. And he launched his own agency. And when he got ready to do it, he said, this is what I'm about to do, and I'd love for you to come and be an agent with me. And I was like, what? I feel like I'm going to come over there, and I don't know. I felt like maybe this is for, the young folk. Maybe I need to be over here. But he was like, whatever. So I ended up going in a different direction. But again, always availed himself to me. And just the nicest guy, always helpful, go to bat for the underdog, and lived his life. I got a text from Tamiko that said, what happened to Miles? Check his page. Now I was on a Zoom call, so I was like, wait. So it was my cousins. It was still business, but I put them on hold and I said, hold on. And I looked and I saw all these RIPs and I was gutted, not understanding what happened. But just like, this man wasn't in my mind. I'm like, he's probably mid-30s, like, because I just never put together.
Because he connected with you on your level, so it didn't really matter what his age was.
Absolutely. So to find out he was 27, and then to find out later that it was COVID, I woke up. So I that day, I did nothing. I was supposed to do things. I sat on the side of the bed. The only reason I got in the shower was because I had color in my hair. Because I think I'd have just sat there because I was stunned. Just, what are you saying? Why is he not here? Why? What do you mean?
Right.
And so I was okay until the next morning. You know, you get up and you hope it was a dream.
Mhm.
I said, oh, that was just a horror. Damn, it was real. So I guess the lesson that Miles taught and that you're teaching, and I hope that we all are in our own ways, but this kind of resonated with me. Again, I was really excited when you told me you were going to do this trip. I wasn't going to do it, but yay, you. I said, well, if we've learned nothing else, it's to live. Do what you want to do because you don't know. And so, you know, our me and Miles' Christian faith is like in the twinkle of an eye, you know, things can shift. And so, and that's true for everybody. I mean, but we just look at it from a spiritual space.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, that's the comfort I have that I know where he is. And I, you know, I'm sure he's like, okay, well, that was unexpected, but hey, Jesus, I didn't
know how I thought that was gonna go.
but hi, you know, and so I can laugh about it to keep from falling apart. But when I tell you guys, now this is Tasha on her soapbox. If you decide not to get vaccinated, fine, because that's personal.
Mm-hmm.
Please at least wear a mask.
Yes.
I don't want your families. I don't even know y'all, all of y'all, but I don't want your families to have to go through the stunned, you know, his parents weren't expecting to bury their child.
Right.
Like, how are they? When I get up and I pray, you know, people are like, oh, I'm praying for you. Pray for them. I'm going to cry and I'm going to be okay. But I don't know how they going to be. You know what I'm saying? So live your life. Be safe. These are my lessons for the day. DT on our minds.
Well, I did end up finally getting vaccine.
Okay.
On Saturday. I was a holdout for a long time because of, I don't like to put things in my body that probably don't belong there necessarily. And I eat right and I have a good vitamin regimen and, you know, but because I decided to join a show, How to Succeed in Business Without Even Trying, at the drama group in the Chicago Heights.
Yay.
It's in October. But since I decided to be in a show and I'm going to be around my castmates and we're not going to wear masks while we're on stage, it felt right for me to do it now.
Sure.
Because I was prepared to wear a mask for the rest of my life. I really didn't care.
Yeah.
And I probably wear a mask everywhere else because we don't trust people.
What it says, you can't see it completely, but it says, I'm vaccinated, but still wear masks because I've got trust issues and y'all nasty. That's it.
That's exactly how I feel. I know 90% of the people who aren't wearing masks are not vaccinated. And that's why I still wear mine, you know, at both my jobs, because I don't have to wear it at my second job, but my first job I do. But they're like, yeah, if you're vaccinated. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't trust none of y'all.
Nope. People lie about crazy stuff. They're certainly
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, nope, I'm good. So again, your choice. If it works for you, it works for you. But wear a mask if you don't.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
For everyone's sake.
And that's it. I think we've lost the meaning of communities. We're like, I want to do my rights. Man, we want your right to live.
Right. Well, you know what I think? We turned into a society of me and not of we.
That's right.
And that's a problem because we're all here. And yeah, do I want you to succeed as you? Yes, I want to succeed as me, but we're all still on this planet together. So get it together, people.
I think that's a great way to end the darn show. So, from the studios of TLC Talk Radio,
and Dana's bedroom.
I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Thank you so much for tuning in to DT on Our Minds. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And catch all of our episodes on TLCTalkRadio.com on demand 24/7 entertainment. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.